Before a single word was recorded on the Indian subcontinent, hundreds of thousands of years of human existence occurred in total documentary silence. This is the era of prehistory. Our study of this period began in 1863, when geologist Robert Bruce Foote unearthed this object, the Pallavaram hand axe. Lacking written records, our understanding relies entirely on physical constraints. We reconstruct their socioeconomic reality by examining the mechanics of the tools they left behind. By tracking the evolution of this material technology, we can map human progress across 4 distinct phases: the Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic, and Chalcolithic eras. The prehistory of India is a timeline of microscopic changes in stone engineering that eventually built the macrostructures of human civilization. The earliest evidence of human habitation centers around specific geographical zones. We find Paleolithic sites clustered in the Soan Valley, the Belen Valley, and the Thar Desert. The environmental baseline for these populations was incredibly harsh. Survival required constant movement to secure scarce calories. Tool production relied on sheer blunt force. Quartzite man, as these early humans are sometimes called, struck heavy stones together to fracture crude, unpolished edges. The inefficiency of these tools dictated human behavior. A hand axe requires massive caloric exertion for a minimal return, keeping human society locked into a strict hunter-gatherer existence. Without the blades required to fell timber or carve architectural stone, building shelters was impossible. Humans were forced to rely on naturally occurring geography, occupying massive rock structures like those at Bhimbetka. This period spans hundreds of thousands of years. The only way historians subdivide it into the lower, middle, and upper Paleolithic is by tracking incredibly slow, slight refinements in flaking techniques and the eventual introduction of simple bone tools. Paleolithic life was a strictly reactive state. Human survival was defined by the unshaped geology around them. Around 10,000 BCE, as the climate warmed, human engineering underwent a critical shift, marking the start of the Mesolithic era. The defining technological output of this period is the microlith. These precisely chipped stones were not designed for the hand. They enabled a massive mechanical leap, the composite tool. Embedded into wood or bone handles, humans manufactured the first complex spears and arrows. Better tools yielded higher caloric returns with less physical risk. This specific innovation made fishing highly viable and facilitated the earliest phases of plant cultivation. With survival requiring less constant exertion, communities generated surplus time. We see the direct result of this efficiency in the emergence of early rock art. The cave walls at Bhimbetka serve as direct sociological data. They depict a society with a gender-based division of labor, formal religious practices, and a heavy focus on animal figures, though they specifically omit any depictions of snakes. The transition to smaller, precise composite tools changed the rhythm of daily survival. As resource extraction became more efficient, the archaeological record begins to show the first sustained evidence of artistic expression and social structure. By 8000 BCE in northern regions, the slow accumulation of skills hits critical mass. Historian V. Gordon Childe defined this threshold as the Neolithic Revolution. It is a revolution of output. Humans transitioned permanently from gathering wild calories to intentionally producing them. This required an entirely new class of hardware. Notice the smooth, ground surfaces and deliberate perforations. These polished stone tools were engineered specifically for the heavy, repetitive labor of agriculture. Alongside tilling the soil, communities systematically domesticated livestock, securing self-replenishing populations of sheep, goats, and cattle. The archaeological record confirms the exact locations of this agrarian shift. We find cultivated wheat at Mehrgarh dating to 7000 BCE, and early rice cultivation at Koldihua by 6500 BCE. Generating an agricultural surplus offset created a new mechanical problem, protecting the harvest from rot and pests. This drove the invention of pottery, which rapidly evolved from hand-molded clay to the high-volume output of the potter's wheel. With calories secured and stored, human movement stopped. populations settled into structured mud and reed houses, like the excavated pit dwellings found in Burzahome. The friction of a polished stone blade directly anchored human beings to the land, resulting in the invention of the permanent village. By 3000 BCE, tool-making incorporated metal for the first time. Pouring copper was a byproduct of the thermal control required to fire pottery. This Chalcolithic era was a transitional phase. Communities in rural cultures like Ahar and Jorwe did not abandon stone. They utilized newly forged copper tools right alongside their polished stone microliths. This pot is a direct indicator of their technical capability. Producing this signature black and redware ceramic requires highly specific, oxygen-controlled firing environments. These communities operated complex rural economies. They lived in clustered mud brick housing, wove textiles from spun cotton, and built formal belief systems around the mother goddess and the bull. Yet the data reveals a specific behavioral paradox. Despite keeping large domesticated herds of cattle, they slaughtered the animals strictly for meat, entirely ignoring their capacity for dairy production. This practice survives into the modern era. We see the exact same livestock management approach preserved today among tribal groups like the Bastargans. By combining metallurgy with established agriculture, these populations formalized a division of labor that pushed human society to the edge of true urbanization. The timeline of human development compresses. The millions of years spent in the Paleolithic give way to innovations in the Mesolithic, Neolithic, and Chalcolithic that occur across only a few millennia. The causal chain is strict. Flaked stones allowed basic caloric survival. Microliths allowed composite hunting efficiency. Polished celts allowed heavy agriculture. Agriculture demanded pottery and sedentary villages. And those permanent villages enabled the intense specialization required to invent metallurgy. These isolated prehistoric settlements laid the exact technological and geographical groundwork required to support the massive, recorded empires that would soon rise across the Indian subcontinent.